More breaking news after learning two big-name Memphis rappers have been arrested in connection to a robbery at a Dallas music studio back in January.
Robbery, I got a dot on this Glock, ain't no robbing me. These niggas like to comment shit on Instagram, pics, see me in public, say hi to me. Boy, I don't get it, bro.
Welcome to DC Gospel, man. Before I go any further, man, hit the buttons, subscribe, share, and like. Man, let me jump straight into it, man.
What kind of shit this is? I thought we was finna have a gunfight. You was just texting me, I'm a pussy. But when I walked down here, Gucci gone, we done called the law. What do you think you be?
Man, I remember when Gucci Man was at Terry Hut, and I was Hazleton USP. Let's talk about that, y'all. Now, I don't know if I said this, I might have did, because I'm like amped up about this. I've been talking about this, y'all. All right, so what I mean, right, I had a story I did around when I first started YouTubing with an Android phone, y'all. Funny. So I was talking about how I was locked up Hazleton USP and how Gucci Man was Terry Hut. And yeah, first let me ask y'all this question right here. I'm gonna make a lot more sense when I say this. We heard people say they was locked up with Boosie, BG, all these other rappers. We done heard people say that they was locked up with them. When have you ever heard somebody say that, hey, I was locked up with Gucci Man? I'm gonna give y'all some time to think about that. Yeah, in the comments, yeah, subscribe, share, like. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm gonna give y'all some time to think about that. Whenever you heard somebody say that, yeah, man, I was locked up with Gucci Man down there. You hear that about Big Me, people about Gucci Man. You not gonna hear it. Want me to tell you why? Because when he was at Terry Hut, y'all, it became a drop-off, y'all. See, Gucci Man got sent to Terry Hut when they was transforming. It was a USP, but they were sending all the guys from there that had the real crimes out of there and sending them to Hazleton, to other USPs around the world.
Studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty.
But they had turned Terry Hut into a drop-off yard. So Gucci Man was on the yard with pedophiles, rapists, all the people, hot people, the people that you don't want to be around. And I don't know if I can find this video. It's a video of him, man, talking about how prison scared him for real. You can see it in his voice that he never been through nothing like that before. So, and then the crazy part, when people was coming up here, so they was like, man, yeah, Gucci Man, you know, they down there, they turned that joint to a drop-off, y'all. I'm like, for real? So then they was like, yeah, he was down there tray monster. Like eating trays like heaven. I'm like, damn, wait a minute, who I thought Gucci Man? They like, I don't know what's going on with Gucci Man. Man, Slim was on his tray monster stuff. Like, for real? I'm like, man, that's deep. And I'm thinking about he only had a little bit of money that he gave to his girl, so maybe he was flipping and he, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. Or maybe he didn't feel comfortable spending a lot of money in prison because he felt like somebody gonna try to extort him. Like, just imagine Gucci Man in a drop-off USP with nothing but pedophile and hot people scared to go to commissary. Hey, it's crazy, yeah. So y'all already hear the news, Gucci Man done told on Pooh Shiesty, man, and the paperwork out there, man. Gucci Man is officially hot, y'all, and this is crazy. And this what happened. I mean, you can't really blame them, y'all, when you listen to the story about how they lured them in the studio, robbed them, took advantage to them. And Gucci ain't never say nothing, but this was his comeback right here, man. I'm sending you to jail. I want to make sure you don't have no rap contract. I'm sending you to jail, and I'm going to take your contract that your God thought he had, and I'm going to put it on the shelf and bury you. That is deep. That's deep, y'all. What y'all think about that in the comments? Do y'all think Gucci Man wrong for identifying him? Because he can't get out of it now because of paperwork, y'all. He can't shift the blame on, it was my staff. Even then, you pay the police, so you got a right to tell them, look, I'm gonna deal with it my way behind the scene. The police not gonna report that crime, I'm telling you now. You got money. Police do anything for money out here these days. Yes, they do too. Yup. Sorry to tell you, yup. I know for a fact, as a young man, I had the police in my pocket. I know. So everybody's struggling. So Gucci man, y'all, they say Big 30 man had his big back on the wall by Gucci man. They were trying to get out. They had my man in the chokehold, man. They said they almost killed my man back then, man. That's crazy, man. They did Gucci man like that. The boogeyman has been unboogied. Damn, that is crazy. Man, how y'all feel about these rappers, man, really portraying this real role? Even with his murder case, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is how I look at his murder case. Somebody came to rob him and he was defending himself. He didn't do nothing what he's supposed to do, defend himself. So that means that if anybody come there and rob y'all, y'all gonna defend yourself the best way y'all can. So, I don't know, y'all, this look bad for Gucci man reputation for his, you know what I mean, street role that he wanted that image, or maybe he just gave that image up and he strictly about his wife. I'm a businessman. That's why Pooh Shiesty in jail right now. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Y'all think Gucci man hot, or do you think that this is another smear campaign on his name? Y'all, I don't know, man. We on our way to 10,000 subscribers, man. Everybody turn their hat. That's the new wave. That's the new wave.
Studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document.